In this lesson, we're going to look at how to initialize vectors. And remember that the first thing you always have to do is include a preprocessor directive to include the vector library. So that's the first thing you're always going to do. Vectors are what are called generic objects, and we use something called a template because the vector, when you create it, doesn't know the data type. So the way we specify the data type of a vector is to put the data type in angle brackets after the keyword vector. So for example, if I'm going to store a set of grades, then I'm going to write vector open angle bracket int close angle bracket followed by the name of the vector, in this case grades. All data types work. So I can have string names, and if I do that, I need to make sure that I have the string library included also, just to be on the safe side. And we could have vector double values, whatever you want to call it. So any data type works, so you just need to make sure that you include that data type in angle brackets. Declaring a vector like this simply creates a vector with empty values, or no values in it. Really, null values is a better way to put it. What we can do is we can initialize a vector to an initial set of values by using what's called an initialization list. So for example, I can put 5 grades into the grades vector by putting them in an initialization list like this. So that means that my first 5 grades in the vector will be 71, 88, 89, 64, and 100. Let's do a string vector with names. Whoops. So there's an example of creating a vector of 4 names and storing those names or initializing the vector with those names. You don't have to do that, of course. You can just declare the vector and then add the values later, but just understand that if you choose, you can initialize a vector by declaring it and then providing an initialization list, which is a set of values delimited by commas and inside curly braces. This is called an initialization list. And you can use that to initialize a vector. And with that, we've wrapped up this lesson on vector initialization.